Yeah, I'm Sherry Braithwaite, and I'm going to be working out today with David MacDougall. He is going to show us a few tips and tricks about how to do this without injury. So, David, I'm going to let you take over completely.
All right.
Oh, wait,
great.
let's ask if they can hear. Let's do that. See?
Yeah, just want to check in, make sure everybody can hear us all right. Sherry's going to come around to the other side of the mic, make sure that we're getting good pickup here.
So if you can hear it, let us know.
Awesome. So okay. We'll just go with it. We'll just go with it. So thank you, Sherry, for bringing me on today. So one of the things I'm going to go over today is just cover some basics. So there are core elements to working out that are really important, and there are really four. And if your workout doesn't cover all four of these, it's not really a great workout or great workout program. So it's essentially this. It's push, pull, squat, and core. Those are the four basic elements. And we need to make sure that we cover these through your cycle in a week. If you're working out 3 days a week, you want to cover them in all 3 of those days. A lot of people say, they'll use all these different crazy techniques and offset bench presses and decline bench presses and stuff like that. You really don't need to do that. You just really need to cover some great basics. And the thing is, too, is as some of us are not necessarily 20 years old anymore, we have to really, really pay attention to technique. Technique is really, really important. So that's what we're going to cover today. We're just going to do, again, a basics. We're going to do squats, push-ups, dumbbell rows, and we'll demonstrate that here on the bench, and then a plank, and then 1 minute of cardio. And that can be running, that can be something like an elliptical, it can be a run. It just depends on what you have access to and what you're inclined to actually stick with. Okay. And that's the other thing that's really, really important is do something that you're going to stay with, that you can do long term, something you enjoy. And one of the other things I really like to cover, that you don't work out for working out's sake. You've got to really have your reason, your why, exactly, your why. So it's so for me and my buddy James, who you also know, Sherry, is we love to trail run. We love to run up mountains. We're in the canyons here in Utah all the time, and that's a big part of our reason why. We don't do it for anybody else. It's strictly for us, and so we do this. We do the work here so we can go enjoy and do all the things we want to do outside of that.
Yeah, David is a personal trainer. So you can explain a little bit about that too, David, if you, your experience or where you're coming from.
Yeah, so what I'm going to actually teach you guys today is a really core part of what's called the Rewind fitness program. And my buddy Neil, who actually owns the gym that we're in, him and his wife Lindsay created an amazing program called Rewind Fitness. And they actually have an app for it too that's really awesome, super easy to follow. You can do it anywhere, but it's specifically designed for anybody who is 40 plus. That wants to work out and not get injured. So it's about doing the right kind of volume, the right kind of frequency. So that's why they created this program, and then at the same time is to not cause injury, which is really important.
Very important.
So we'll go ahead and get into it. So we're going to just kind of get into some basics. First thing we can kind of get into is we're going to talk about some squats. I'm going to attach my mic here. So what we're going to do is air squats first, and then if you want, I actually have a little bit of weight, we'll do that. So one of the things, yeah.
Like 10 pounds.
So there's a 15 pound, and I got a 20 pound one here. So one of the things that we can do, and you can just do this with one weight. Okay. So we'll face each other so they can see on camera the angle. So one of the things we want to do is make sure that our feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And then as we go down and do our squat, one thing we want to make sure that we do is we press up with our heels. We don't want to be on our toes because that'll shift our weight in the wrong area. So you want to really rest on your heels more. And then you can hold your weight like this, and you can do this. Actually, the first one I'll just do an air squat. So I'll show. So we'll demonstrate that. So what we want to do, we also want to make sure that our knees do not go over our toes. Okay. So again, weight back on your heels, and then we're going to come down here. And you want to come down till you're about a 90 degree angle here.
I can do that also with the weight.
So here, yes, you can do that with the weight. And if you need to, some people don't, their hips aren't quite as flexible, you can actually go a little bit wider.
Okay,
Here.
hold it.
Yeah, and you can go down and hold. So this one thing that we did today is we hold here, up, and then back down, hold it, up, back down, hold it, up, back down, hold it. And so I'll demo with the weight now. And you can, again, you can hold your weight like this, or you can do 2 dumbbells. So then we'll go hold it, and then we'll go up, back down, and hold it again.
So maybe it's
You should definitely feel it,
okay.
but it shouldn't be
Not a-
painful.
You're right.
But definitely feel it.
I
So,
feel
so a good basic one is, again, 20 squats.
Okay.
And you can do this weightless or with a little bit of weight. You don't want to use too much. And then the next thing we'll get into is we can talk about push-ups.
Okay.
And there are a couple variations. So push-up technique is really important. And let me just check the camera because I want to make sure that we can do that properly. Yes. So I'm going to angle this back down here a little bit. So we'll get into the proper push-up technique. So one thing you want to do, if you're going to do like a regular push-up, is when we get down to a push-up position, you want to make sure that, number one, your butt is not too high in the air, and also you do not sink your hips. Okay. So that's really important. Just yeah. So go ahead and get in push-up position. Yep, you can do that. Yeah, you can do the knees. So this is a great variation. So go ahead and just do the one for knee on your knees.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what you want to do is just come down, and you want to go actually chest to floor. A lot of people kind of only come down part way. You can come down the whole way.
Oh, mat, that's better.
Yes, we got a mat for you, so you can cushion your knees a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So what you want to do is, again, knees, and then drop your hips down a little tiny bit there, and then go ahead. Yeah. Your feet can be pointed there. You don't need to flex them. Yep.
Too many knees.
Yeah. And just do 5 for now. Yeah. And again, it doesn't matter where you're starting from, as long as you start. That's the main thing, is regardless of where you are, at least start. That's awesome. All right, you got it. Demo a regular push-up. So again, what you want to do is get your hands underneath your shoulders. Again, get into like a high plank position, and you want to make sure that you don't have your butt way up here in the air, and you don't want to sink your hips too low here. You want to maintain a straight line as much as possible, and then come down, chest to floor, and up. Chest to floor, up. And as you get better at this, so you can do that, and then like what Sherry just did, is going from the knees, and you can cross your ankles, you can leave your toes pointed, you can flex or not flex it, that really doesn't matter. And again, the important thing is come down to the floor and up, and then
Keep your elbows close to your side too. I remember
yeah,
that part. That's
yeah, keep your elbows close to your side. And then the other one is we actually have what's called a snaking push-up. And so that one is, you can kind of start down here in this push-up position, and then kind of come up here like that, and then come down. And this is a great place for people to start if you don't have a lot of upper body strength.
Yeah.
This way you can actually get in and do it, and then start to progress. So you do this, start with the snaking one, and then you can go from your knees, and then eventually work into the regular push-ups.
Yeah,
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate what's called a dumbbell row. So what we did is we did a squat and then a push. So a squat and push, so we covered those first 2 elements. And then now we're going to do what is a pull, and that's going to be a dumbbell row. So I'm going to make sure our camera's set here so we can show the bench a little better. There we go. All right, so dumbbell row. Here, let me pull this over here a little bit more, and I'll have you demo this one.
Okay.
And so go ahead and, well, actually here, I'll just show you the setup on this one first.
Okay.
So what you want to do is have your hand here on the bench, and you want to drop it straight on your shoulder, straight down from your shoulders. You want a straight line here, and then as you do your row, you want to pull up and really think about pulling your elbow back. Don't use your elbow or use your bicep as much. you want to concentrate on pulling with your lat here. So this is the muscle group that you want to use. So again, pull, we're going to pull here to approximately here and drop down and pull. You don't want to torque, you don't want to throw it, you don't want to drop too low. You just come here. So open it up and tighten it. So that's what you want to do for this technique. So this is your pull.
20, so you probably do like, you do like 5 and then stop, or?
So yeah, so what you do is we'll do, if you're doing lighter weight, you can do 20 reps. If you're using heavier weight, which is what we do in a Rewind Fitness program, is like I'll do this with a 65 or an 80 pound weight, but I'm a little advanced on that. So again, start with like a 15, 20 pounder.
Let me try it. Make sure I get the right one.
Yeah.
So, this?
Yes. Yeah. So again, straight down, and then just think about pulling your elbow back.
Closer to my,
There you go.
and do I have to stand like this, or is that?
Yeah, you want to make sure you have an open stance so you're stable.
Okay. Well, this is an easy one. I must have more muscle there.
Yeah, and that's great.
I don't know how fast you do it,
But again, the main thing is about technique. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it too fast, and then you can always increase the weight. But again, what we're doing for today, just to cover some basics, is we do 20 reps at a moderate weight. Again, as you get more advanced and you want to build more muscle, and again, in building muscle, that's, sometimes women don't necessarily like, I don't want to build muscle, I don't want to look like a man. Well, you'll never look like a man. You got to do some really intense, nutrition and steroids, and eat tons and tons and tons of food to build muscle like that. So you'd be surprised at how much weight you can actually use.
I want to be stronger. Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
to build, but I want to.
So, and again, this is, and we think about the point of this is, we all obviously all want to look good, but the primary driving reason, you're never going to maintain a program on that.
Yes.
You're going to maintain it based upon being able to do the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
So if you like you run, you like to hike, you like to swim, if you like to play tennis, whatever it is that you like to do, whatever activity, it's the more fit you are, it's always the better you can do it. Yeah. And the other factor that comes into this, working out, sometimes people bring up like, well, it's better to work out in the morning, it's better to work out in the afternoon. And honestly, there's no science that backs either one of those times. The point is just do it at some point during the day. Yeah. As long as you do it. The doing is the important thing. Yeah. It doesn't matter when you do it, but just do something. And again, this is like good basics. So we did squat, we did push, we did pull, and now we're going to do a little bit of core.
Okay.
And make sure that, so I'll bring that back down here. There you go. Yes.
But that's also push-up.
So that is, so what you're doing right there, that's a high plank position. And you can just do your arms straight and just go into that plank position. So this is it's called a high plank. And the idea for this is you want to hold it for 20 seconds. So you can do that. And again, one thing you want to make sure is that, like, Sherry's really nicely aligned here. She's straight, her butt isn't too high up in the air, and she's not dropping her hips too low. If you do that, you really want to just work on maintaining this straight line as much as possible. Now there's a variation on this, so this is a high plank one. The harder one is to go down to your elbows, on your elbows, yeah. And then again, maintain plank position. Again, it's really important, maintain a really straight line here is absolutely critical. And this is, you get great core activation, so through your obliques, your core, you get down in your pelvic area, your hip flexors that actually tie into the front part of your hips. So this is really great activation. This is really the absolute safest, probably one of the most effective ways to develop great core strength. And yoga incorporates a bit of this. There's just, with things like yoga, there's no pull.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily complete. So again, basics. So we covered squat technique. So remembering to stay back on your heels more. Don't let your knees go over your toes, and come down to a 90-degree angle. You want your quads parallel with the floor. Some people can go a little bit lower, but again, we're just talking basics here. The second thing are your push-ups. You can start with a snaking push-up if you don't have a lot of upper body strength, and then you can progress that to push-ups on your knees,
Yeah.
and then getting into the standard military style push-up.
I can do that standard. What if I could do one?
There you go. And just come down, chest to floor, and up, and just pop it up.
I would have to do a little bit more work on that one.
Yeah, so, but that's the thing is, it's, you know, some people beat themselves up and say like, oh, I can't really do push-up. Like, so start where you are.
Don't compare.
And yeah, don't compare, and just make sure that you get better than you from the previous day. So it's always constantly improving.
Competition with yourself.
Right, yeah, only compete with yourself. And then again, the next thing would be the dumbbell rows. That's great for your lats, your rear delts, your shoulders. And then 20-second plank, and then do a little bit of cardio, maybe a minute of cardio. So a great, again, awesome basic workout is we do this 5 times through. You can do this without weight. There's no reason to not do it. So again, 5 times through, 20 squats, 20 push-ups, 20 dumbbell rows, 20 seconds of plank, and 1 minute of cardio. Do that 5 times through. And again, use those variations based upon where you are, where your strength is, and then build from there. And then once you get that nailed down, then you can do something a little bit more advanced after that. So one of the things we do, like you can get a great workout in 15 or 20 minutes. Like this basic one, you can usually get this one done in maybe 20 minutes of time. So it's not about the time duration. That's certainly a goal to get to, depending upon where you want to go. But just doing something, you can do 15, 20-minute workout that's really intense. That will really increase everything. It'll help amplify everything. Not only will you be more fit, it makes your brain, it helps your brain function better. It helps cognition. It helps your mood. And that's just exercise. You can reduce your, like all-cause mortality. You can more than cut it in half just by exercising. And if you start out, do it 3 days a week. It again just depends where you are, but don't beat yourself up. Just do something. Do it 3 days a week, then go to 4, then go to 5. Like me personally, I work out 5 days a week, and then on pretty much every other weekend, I go trail running with my friends. We'll run down to the desert and put in some mileage.
And we're all going hiking on Saturday, right?
Yes,
10 o'clock.
yeah. There's a hike 10 a.m. That's going to be at Bell Canyon, Lower Falls. So that's in Sandy, our Daring Journey Hikers group. That it's open. It's an open community. Anybody's certainly welcome and free to join that. So, but that's it. So that's just a good basic workout. The other thing that we'll tie in, and maybe we can cover this at another period of time, is talk about how to eat healthy.
Oh yeah.
So we can certainly dive in. I think you actually covered that. You did some nutrition stuff last week.
I did a 5-day no sugar challenge last week, and now I'm doing an 8-week detox diet.
Okay.
But I also have learned, if this is something, I don't know if you're going to say this, but when I exercise, I actually don't want to eat the crap. I just feel so different when I eat it. And I crave the healthy stuff that gives me more energy to do more activity. So I do find that it kind of goes together. As I'm eating healthy and exercising, I think they just kind of motivate each other.
Yeah, that definitely makes a big difference. I'm actually going to change our camera angle so we can get off the floor. So, yeah. All right, so we'll kind of get into here, and then one of the last questions too that comes up with occasionally on nutrition is supplementation.
Oh,
and
yes.
a lot of people ask about that.
Yeah.
This is an area, again, because we're in Utah, where this is like the supplement manufacturing capital of the world.
Yeah.
And so what I know is anybody like really like 35, 40 plus, I talked with my friend Neil, and actually I work for a naturopathic doctor. This is kind of like my world. And if there's one supplement that makes a difference on performance, it's usually creatine. And we can actually even do a little bit of a deep dive on that at some point in time.
Oh yeah, they sell it here, I noticed.
Yeah, yeah, they sell it here.
I don't know.
So
tell me about it.
yeah, it's pretty cool. But we can actually cover that on another time. At another time. So this is not a selling program, but creatine's really, really awesome. A good micronized creatine, 2.5 grams a day for men and women, helps great cognitive benefits and helps you really build muscle in a good way. We all need cognitive benefits, but just working out, again, that is like the #1 contributor to clarity, to calming yourself, and having an awesome life. So, and if you're not sure where to go, again, Sherry will post the basics workout. If you want to do something a little bit more advanced, you can actually go to GPP Fitness, gppfitness.com. There's an app. It's got this little rewind logo on it.
Nice.
Not expensive, and it's a great way to get fit and not injure yourself.
Yeah. Well, and then David, I don't know if you mind me saying this too, but you've done quite a few of these live videos in here.
Yeah.
Where you've given demonstrations. Is it on your personal page or in the
Yeah, that's on
Daring
my personal page.
Okay.
You can,
If you don't mind me sharing some of those, I can do that.
Yeah,
So.
you can totally, or friend request me, or you can use any of those videos and share them.
MacDougall. Yep.
So, okay, so
Thank
I'll give you
you.
this. So if you want to do your wrap up.
I don't have any more to say.
That's it?
Exercise and eat good.
All right, awesome. All right, so that's it, and we'll see y'all later.